dating, it's a very crucial subject because this is usually a decision that you're making when you're young, and at a time in your life where you don't necessarily have all the tools to make these decisions, and where some of your wounds or fears or negative patterns that have not even been identified. You haven't started to identify them even. And it doesn't matter where you are standing now in your life, whether you're 20 and you're at the beginning and you're going to make the choice for your first partner, or, whether you're 50, it doesn't really matter. It's the same work. It's really skills that should be acquired once in a lifetime. And if we don't acquire them, then they are missing for the whole life. And life doesn't necessarily teach you these skills because you can go through experiences in a very repetitive way. And it's not necessarily that you are going to understand the mechanism that are determining for the choices that you're making, and for the type of relationship that you're attracting, and for the type of event that you're attracting in your life. And so becoming aware of those mechanisms is something very, very, very important from a very young age. And so therefore now I'm aiming to teach this as young as possible, because it could change so much in your life to make a decision after having understood what's really going on in your field. What is the vibe that you're sending to the universe? What are the fears that you are holding? What are the patterns that you are repeating? Whether they are inherited or whether that they are something that is really inherent to your soul journey. If you're not aware of what you are holding in your vibrational frequency in your field, you are never going to understand why things are happening to you, and how you enter a relationship, and how you come out of relationships. There is a lot of confusion because there's the concept of Besher, of Mazal and destiny. Who's your destiny? And so you can really ask yourself if in the end you are choosing your life partner, or if it's a question of fate, Because if it's just a question of fate, then it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what qualities you are holding, you will end up with that one person that you were supposed to end up with, right? If it's just based on fate. And in that case, then it wouldn't explain how Leah, could change her destiny by praying, right? Because that in the Bible story, Leah was destined to Esav, okay? And she prayed, and she finally got Yaakov, okay? So in this case, we see that yes, there is fate, there is something is written, but yet in some cases it can be changed. Okay. Now, if you think that yes, praying can change things, or things can be changed, and it means that there are many possible versions of your Mazal, many possible versions of your Besher, of your destiny person, of your right? And if it's the case, then how do you attract the best version? So we hear, yes, there are many possible versions of your Mazal, that it's according to where you are standing in your life. Who you are right now is going to determine what version of your destiny you can attract. Okay? Now, how do we know? How do we know if something is written by fate and it's written engraved, or if there is something that we can do? How do we know what kind of margin we have in this story? Do you think we have free will in choosing the life partner? Do you think you have free will, or do you think that's it? It's written and there's nothing you can do?
Both.
It's both. So okay. So if it's both, what is the part that you think that you can influence, and what is the part that is it's written? If it's written, it's written. How can you influence?
I feel like, I feel like partially in doing this work and clearing things, but maybe that's already written. If we don't take action it's almost like if we don't take that action and that free will of choice, then our choice was to not accelerate in the same way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're giving a nice direction. It's that it's possible that something is written for you, something nice. That's the case also for, for blessing in general, like for abundance, or, for money, whatever kind of abundance. It's possible that this channel is actually open for you, but you are actually closing it because you have fears, or you have patterns that, that are not matching this state of abundance that is actually ready for you. So it's possible that you actually yourself, you're preventing this to happen. It's an art to maintain the balance between the margin that you actually have, that is about taking responsibility for the part of free will that you have, okay? And leaving the rest in the hands of God, the providence, the universe, whatever you believe in, because they are both. Now, yes, there are some relationships that are karmic relationships. It means that it needs to happen no matter what, okay? And we are not in God's paper, or, we are not in this consideration, and we don't know when those things are written, okay? The only thing we know is that the part of free will that we want to take good responsibility for it. And the part of free will that we have is addressing our fears, is addressing all the patterns and the things in our field that are sending the wrong vibe to the universe, okay? So yes, the part that is karmic, it's very possible that for some reason, either that you have a soul contract with someone and you already signed that you have to come back with that person, okay? Or that you need to actually do something in the family, or that you're going to marry into, or that you need to have children together, and this child need to come from both lineage, and you're there for that. There are many considerations that we can't enter into this consideration because it's beyond us. It's not in our hands. But sometimes there are relationships that are there just to give you the opportunity to grow, okay? Because you have to learn something, okay? So in these cases, you might want, it's very possible that you could actually learn those things and work on those assignments without having to go through this type of relationship. Okay, you could actually work on yourself to rise your level of consciousness, to rise your vibrational frequency to a state where you are meeting the highest possible version of Mazal that you can meet. Okay? Because there are some type of relationship that you will attract just to give you the opportunity to work on something. And therefore, you want to know what you need to work on. You want to identify what are those fears that you are holding in your field. What are those negative patterns that are going, because all of those things, they are going to attract, and we're going to speak more about that in a short program, about the law of resonance and about the law of attraction, and how your vibrational frequency, which is basically your level of consciousness and everything that you are emitting, is going to send information to the universe, and you are going to attract automatically the same vibe that you're sending. This is what you're going to attract. Okay? So if you're sending to the universe, I don't love myself, you're not enough, if you're criticizing yourself, if you're judging yourself, whatever vibe that you're sending to the universe, you're going just to get this more of the same. Okay, so now if you identify this and you shift this and you send to the universe self-love, self-validation, self-acknowledgement, are you going to receive someone that is going to come and challenge you and tell you that you're not lovable, that you're not, that you can't be recognized for you, who you are and for what you do? No. You're going to receive someone that thinks the same as you, that you're adorable, and that your worth is amazing, etc., etc. Okay? Now, it's not always that simple. Otherwise, it would be very easily readable, right? But the thing is that most of our patterns, we are not aware of them because they don't appear as it is. They are hidden. All right? Sometimes they are hidden under other patterns. They have a mask, and so we can't identify that this is the vibe that I'm sending to the universe. And so when we receive something as a reaction, we don't understand, why am I receiving this? What's the connection with me? In the end, what's important to understand is that whether the person that you are attracting in your life is, you have attracted it because it's a karmic relationship, okay? Or whether it's a life lesson that you are attracting because you need to grow about something, this is not something you should worry about, okay? The only thing you should worry about is to rise your level of consciousness and to rise your vibrational frequency to attract the best version of partner you can attract, okay? And by the way, this is why prayer works, because prayer rises your vibrational frequency. What happens if you are holding fears and negative patterns, okay? Then even if you pray and you rise your vibrational frequency, your fears and negative patterns will throw you back again into the same low vibe, okay? So sometimes you pray, but all the things that you are holding in your field, the fears and all the negative emotions, they have low vibrational frequencies. Emotion has a frequency. And the low vibrational frequency of emotions, they drain you down. They bring you down to a lower vibrational frequency. And so, even if you pray and you rise your frequency with prayer, you're going to be called back lower. Okay? So that's why it's very important to take care of what you are holding in your field. Because the emotions that you are holding in your field are determining your vibrational frequency. And why you care about your vibrational frequency? Because your vibrational frequency is what determines who and what you are attracting. Now, yes, there is a part of fate, but the part of margin that you have to take care of this. The part of free will that you have is to take care of this package and understand what kind of frequency you are allowing in your field. Now, if you're sending mixed messages to the universe, then the universe doesn't understand mixed messages. It's not just about repeating mantras, that I love myself, I love myself. If you don't love yourself, the universe won't get the message that you're lovable. The universe will get the message of what you are feeling inside. Okay?
So let's say I'm trying to raise my frequency, but how do I maintain this high frequency while I'm in an environment where other people have like intense energy?
That's part of the package that you have to take care for. There are parts of you that are supposed to take care of this. For example, the part of you that's supposed to take care of this is your self-guidance. If your self-guidance is strong, no matter what happens around you, okay, you will be able to stand strong and say, hey, I hear that you think that my life should go like this and like that, but this is not how I feel about it. When I speak about etheric field, I speak about all the bodies that are outside of your physical body. Okay, you have your physical body that you can see, but beyond your physical body, you have an etheric body Okay, you have an etheric body, and you have an emotional body, and then you have a mental body, and then you have an astral body, okay, and spiritual body. And all of these bodies that you don't see, they are part of your etheric field. Okay, now all of this information, your emotions, your thoughts, okay, your wounds, the imprints that you receive from the generation, everything is recorded in this field. Okay? When you take good care of the hygiene of your etheric field, you have a very strong and stable presence, and you're protected no matter what. Now,
how do you take care of it?
So there are things to do. This is what we do in the protocol that we do in 2 months. Is like we clear the field completely. Now, to clear the field completely, you have to identify the fears. You have to identify the patterns. You have to identify what you're holding from your genealogical line. You have to be aware of what you are holding in your field. Okay? Why? Because all those low vibrational emotions or fear or whatever is there, they're creating holes or breaches or clogs inside your field. And when it's happening too much, your field becomes, penetrable. And actually, any influence, any bad influence, or any virus, or any bacteria, or anything that want to intrude your field can access you easily. It's everything that you encounter. If you want to have a strong immune system on etheric level, you have to take care of your etheric field. Your etheric field is the thoughts that go through your mind, is the emotion that go through your heart, the cleanliness of your etheric body.
Is an etheric body, and are these like sourced in Torah? Is this like a Torah source?
Yes. So, for example, in Torah source. So, just to give you, first of all, to answer the first question, the etheric body. For example, I don't know if you have ever been to an acupuncturist. So when you use acupuncture, how does it work, the acupuncture? They just put needles. Where do they put needles? They put needle in energetic centers. Those energetic centers, they are not energetic centers that are really directly on the physical body. They are energetic centers that are actually mapped on the etheric body. Okay? And so it's electrical circuits that allow the energy to flow properly, that regulate the flow of energy from outside to the inside. Okay, so there are energetic doors. And for example, that there are 365, points, acupuncture points in Chinese medicine. And we also have 365 positive commandments in the Torah. And they're supposed to actually keep those energetic gates. Okay? And so, yes, we have a lot of correspondence in the Torah about all of those gates, how they need to be kept, how they need to be cleared, and everything that you do, all the guidelines in the Torah, they're here to allow you to keep your field clear. All the kashrut guidelines, they're here to help you keep your field clear. Why is it important? Because if your field is not clean, your light vessel, the vessel which through you're supposed to channel divine light on earth, becomes impaired. You can't channel divine light on earth anymore if your vessel is clogged. And how your vessel can get clogged? With low vibrational material, whether it is physical material as food, or whether it is etherical or spiritual material as emotion or thoughts or whatever. Understand? And so if you want to be functioning properly and be connected to the power of your soul, to the information that your soul is supposed to be downloading, okay? This is not just about dating. This is about embodying your life purpose and embodying your full power, if you want to be able to do that, your field needs to be taken care very, very carefully, just the same way you go to shower and you do your makeup every day. Same. Exactly the same. And in case you didn't do shower or makeup one day, it won't kill you. But if you don't do that on etheric level and things come and install in your field, then you start having thoughts and voices and say, where is this coming from? And they start making you feel depressed or sad, all of this. Why? Because when your field is not strong and protected, then anything can come in. It's not something that should scare you, it's just something that you should be aware of, that it's a matter of hygiene, of spiritual hygiene, etherical hygiene. Now, what happens if you're holding a fear and you're going and you choose your partner with that fear from a place of fear? Is it fate or is it you doing?
It's your doing.
It's your doing.
Because your field is holding that resonance of the fear. And so then that's the message being sent out to the universe, to God, to Hashem.
Okay. And so, exactly. So now you're going to choose, you thinking that you're choosing this relationship to avoid that fear, that thing that you're fearing, but actually you're choosing that relationship to overcome that fear. So basically this relationship is just about growing through this relationship to address this fear. And so maybe it's something important you need to do in your life, great, but after you're done with that, you will be in a relationship that maybe is not relevant for you anymore. Let's say that you have a fear of lacking, okay? Whether it's something that is specific to you, that is really specific to your soul, or something, a fear that is acquired through generation because maybe your ancestors went through a difficult time and they were in survival mode, and maybe they went through famines and they didn't have enough to eat and who knows what, okay? Okay, that could be fear that is inherited from your family. It is imprinted in you. So you have those imprints. If you have inherited of that fear, okay, and you are going to make that choice now of this life partner, you are going to put financial security on top of your priority list. This is going to be like determining for your decision. It could lead you, let's say that this fear that leads you to put this criteria on top of your list could also lead you to dismiss a great potential partner just because you think that maybe this part won't be covered. Okay, where if you didn't have that fear, maybe you would have considered that partner. The problem is that when a fear is important and great, it takes all the space in your program. The thing is that fears, it shuts down all of the other consideration. And it may lead you to make concessions on very important things and to dismiss some details that actually that should be red flags. And of course, you might not be aware of it because it might happen on a subconscious level. But what happens is that when you have made a fear the captain of your boat, the captain of your ship, and you're making all your decisions from that place, what happened is that this captain has his own agenda in mind. His agenda, what is his agenda? Is going to lead you to choose a person that is able to compensate for that fear at the moment of your choice. That's the only agenda of this captain. And so just because that person fit the bill for that captain, all other concerns will be of less importance. And so now let's say that you have insecurity or anxiety, Of course, all the choices that you are going to make, they are going to be based on these emotions. If you have a lack in your self-guidance, for example, and you feel a bit lost, and you can't make decisions, and you don't know what direction to take in your life, you might be led to choose a controlling person. And at the moment that you're making that choice, you don't really care or see the danger of it, because your need is met. And even though you might be aware that one day you might want something different than that person, at this moment it doesn't really matter, because this person gives you the impression that you will be carried, that you will be led, and so this is what matters for now, because your self-guidance is not strong, is not at home, and so you will choose someone that will compensate for that lack of self-guidance. Okay, but of course, when you choose that, there are other very important criteria that go on the bottom of your list. Okay, same, for example, if you have a lack in your self-nurturing and you don't know how to nurture yourself, you might choose someone that will nurture you. And even if that person does not fit the bill on so many other aspects, just because she's able to nurture you, then you're going to say, okay, let's go for it. And the truth is that all of these needs need to be fulfilled by you. There is an aspect of you that is designed to take care of your primordial needs, to guide you, to nurture you, to love you. There is an aspect of you that is supposed to give you that. Once you have given that to yourself, and once you have cleared all the fears and all the negative patterns, you have matured all these aspects of your personality, and you come into a relationship, you don't come into the relationship from a place of fear, from a place of, I need this to compensate my lack of that. Okay? But you come from a balanced place, a place where you are looking to share things with a partner that want to honor your soul journey. You come from a very different place, and you have much more chance to last for long term. And the thing is that, the risk when you start this work is to think that you're doing this work to control your destiny, to control your life. You're not doing this to control your life. You're only doing this to take responsibility for the part of free will that is yours. So you can really attract the best version of the best match, the best matching partner, the best version of the best matching partner. That's all for the introduction. And if you want to go deeper, really learn deeply the shift, then you're welcome to join a longer program. But with the short program, you can already have, it's actually such an eye-opening in terms of understanding how much of what you're attracting is your doing, how much of what you are welcoming in your life is because you want someone to hold the mirror in order for you to overcome those fears or change those programs or shift those patterns. Voila. And so the moment you're aware of that, even if you don't learn necessarily how to shift them, the fact that you are aware of it, sometimes it's enough to actually create the shift by yourself. The shift is happening on its own, just to become aware of it. And so this short program leads to bringing you the awareness and to identify more or less, we will take some volunteers, and we will identify their patterns, their self-sabotage, the level of maturation of the different aspects of their personality, and how it leads them to have expectations on possible partners that are not realistic and that are actually not the expectation we have about those partners is just to compensate needs that we have not worked on, or to compensate for fears that we have not worked on. And when we choose a partner from that place, it's a pity because we are wasting many years working on it. and there's nothing wrong with spending hours working on it, but it's just that it's better to do it before you're making such a big decision in your life, because the choices that the way you're going to choose after working on this, and whether you work in the context of the circle or not, it doesn't matter. The way you're going to choose after is going to be very different.
Let's say, so the financial piece, right? What if I just want my husband to do his part? Like for example, in the ketubah, right? Hashem has been bringing me this one person in my life that has like financial blocks, and it's a man. So I recognize, like, I like parts of him, but I also like recognize parts of him that I'm not willing to, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not willing to, like, stand the bullshit. Okay, mm-hmm. Excuse my French. Mm-hmm. So what if these expectations isn't coming from a fear, but it's coming from a place of, like, I want you to do your part. Like in the ketubah, the husband is responsible for the financial security and other things like clothing and the roof over the head and food. Yeah. That, you know what I mean?
Not saying that wanting someone that wanting someone that is settled in life is something wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you're choosing that, you have to choose it from a balanced place and not from a place of fear. So if you don't have that fear and you still make that choice, no problem. This is what you want. If it's not coming from a place of fear, you will know where to put it in your priority list. And it will be at the right place. When it's coming from a place of fear, it's not at the right place on the priority list. It shuts down all the other consideration. You understand?
Meaning that then you would put that at the top of your list because you're afraid?
Yes, you would put that on the top of your list, and you will dismiss very other important criteria that should be taken into consideration. You would dismiss them.
Okay, like what exact fears are you talking about? Like fears about relationships, like traumas, like things that went down in like life? Like
it could be fear of abandonment, fear of exclusion, fear, you name it. There are tons of fears, fear of not being loved, not being recognized, not being valued, not being heard, not being given the space. There are tons of fears.
So how do you pinpoint your exact fear and like?
So that's the thing. So when we do this work, for example, I'm using kinesiology to determine the main fears that people have, the main self-sabotage that people have. But as people are acquiring the tools slowly, they are able to recognize when the fear comes through and say, oh, that's a pattern. Do I want to keep this pattern home? And so you become responsible of what you keep in your field. And sometimes it's fears that are inherited from generations. And you're not even aware that you're repeating the same pattern. I'm aware. That's what main thing the main workshop is about, is raising the awareness of what am I holding in my field? What is the vibration that I'm sending to the world? And why do I attract this and that when the universe is mirroring you? Something that is happening inside of you, it gives you a clue of what kind of fear you are holding inside. It gives you a clue of what kind of pattern you are holding inside. How? By sending you events or people in your life that are going to mirror your own patterns and your own fears. Or events. And so this is how you will know. You say, hey, how come this person is in my life not giving me that story? That's how you know. Because you are reacting to this. If you are not reacting to it, then it's not a mirror. So you are going constantly be sent signs of what you're holding in your field. The only thing is that you don't know how to recognize the signs. And so learning to recognize the signs, learning to listen to your body, to hear what your body wants to tell you, it's an art. And this art needs to be taught. as young as possible. Because the body is sending you information constantly, the universe is sending you information constantly. We just ignore them, we don't see them, we don't hear them. But the moment we acquire the tool to hear and listen, then change happens quickly. The moment we want, of course. The people who have not come over the resistance to change, it takes time, more time.